for another day together as we get ready to get into Shabbat Shira, this wonderful and important Shabbat, a time to celebrate the joy of music and culture and our tradition. Again, sorry for the delay in getting started this morning, but sometimes the electronics have a mind of their own. So let's get right into our time together. Please go ahead and share greetings with one another and with me. As we say, Boker Tov, Boker O. Welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai. Good morning, Boker Tov, Boker O. Welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai. Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. I'm sorry that we've had some last minute Wi-Fi excitements this morning. My Wi-Fi collapsed just as I was going live with the drop a greeting to me. There we go. Good morning, Joni. You're here, and happy that everybody who's here is able to join us. Karen, good morning, and Sulang and Seymour and Annette. Good morning, Eleanor. Good morning to one and all. Boker Tov, Boker O, and let us begin to connect and reflect and remember by joining in this prayer for our bodies functioning. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam bechokma ubarא bo nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim galui v'yadua lifnei chisech vodecha she'im yipatech echad mehem o yisatem echad mehem אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And let's join together in celebrating the obligation to learn and to grow. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. V'arevna na Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Toratcha b'finu ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו, וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני, המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud av v'em, to honor fathers and mothers, ugmilut chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness, vashkamat beit midrash shachrit ve'arvit, to attend the house of study morning and evening, v'achnasat ochim, to welcome the stranger, u'bikul cholim, to visit the sick, v'achnasat kala, to provide for brides and grooms, u'levayat hamet, to keep faith with the dead, V'yun tefillah, to pray with sincerity. V'hava'at shalom ben adam lechavero, to make peace when there is strife. V'talmud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. Well, let us continue to join in our prayers with Baruch She'amar, followed by Psalm 23. A psalm that imagines peace and goodness and yet still talks about the valley of the shadow. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who speaks that we might listen. Blessed is the one who acts that we might be witnesses. Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo. Blessed is the one who decides that we might accept. Blessed is the one who has mercy that we might live. Baruch Shemau v'haya haolam. Blessed is the one who removes the darkness that we might see. Blessed is the one who lives forever that we might believe. Blessed is the one who saves and delivers that we might be redeemed. Mizmor David, Psalm of David, Adonai Roi lo echso. With the Eternal as my shepherd, I shall want for nothing. I will lie down in a beautiful pasture. As I am led along restful waters, my soul will be restored. I will be guided along the paths of righteousness, serving God's higher purpose. Adonai Roi lo echso. Even when I must walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil when you are with me. Your strength and your support comfort me. When facing my enemies, your protection before me, sustaining mind and body. Adonai Roi lo echsal. Only goodness and mercy will pursue me all the days of my life. I will live in God's presence for the rest of my days. And let's now continue joining together in Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha. Ve'yu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'vetecha uvelechtecha v'derech uveshochbecha uvekumecha. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך בשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם. ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם, ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. Well, it's Rose Levine's birthday today. That's nice. Happy birthday to Rose Levine. I see that in the chat. And this morning, as on most Friday mornings, we focus not only on those things that we commonly discuss, but also on looking out at the world with Jewish eyes and seeing what there is to see. And considering the reality of this week, it's not hard to guess what there is to talk about. I happen to have overheard part of the Trump-Netanyahu press conference while I was driving live as it happened this week. And there have been many different reactions to it. One of the most important reactions being that what was being discussed, which is less a plan than an attempt at disruption of what has been, was clearly not discussed in advance of this kind of a blurting out, was not discussed with major and significant partners, was not shared, and represents something that I, in many years of spending time in Israel and, of course, back here in North America, um, have seen. Um, to hear the President of the United States talking about um, a piece of land in the Middle East as something that the U.S. Can own, can develop as a real estate project that would represent something that he kept saying creates many jobs. As I heard it, I heard again, as I've heard many times in the history of the US's involvement in Israel and in the Middle East. I heard someone in the US thinking in terms that would only make sense if Israel was in Iowa somewhere. Um, that the Middle East has its own history and reality, and wishing that reality away will not cause it to change. Um, Change is important, change is necessary, and change is hard. That change takes thought, and what it is that we suggest and consider is a measure of who each of us is. I've been very proud of the way, despite what I regard as unfair worldly condemnation of Israel and the IDF, as it has prosecuted an impossible war on 7 fronts, and especially in Gaza, where the suffering of the Palestinian people and the unfortunate destruction have been due quite clearly to the decades-long building of a violent terror base underneath the entire civilian infrastructure for all of this time. And Israel has done what it was forced to do, what it needed to do at this time in a way that has not only been, that has resulted in the realization of a number of war aims, but that also is morally defensible. Um, and the suggestion of relocating millions of people, first suggested as forcibly, and then now stepping back as if it is voluntary and is going to happen through clicking one's heels 3 times, is not only morally bankrupt and intellectually absurd, um, but it also represents um, a slap in the face to everyone in the region except for Israel. And I mention that not whether such a thing is good or bad in this case, because a slap in the face symbolically is only that. But it is a part of the world where moving forward only happens when people can save face. It's part of the cultures. And this disruptive notion that was blurted out worries me that it will cost the lives or freedom of hostages, and that it makes some kind of arrangement with modern Arab nations and Israel that much further away. I hope I'm wrong about the politics. I'm not a politician. Um, there is clarity about the moral bankruptcy of this notion. And that is a part that frightens me, not because I'm unwilling to do and support hard things, but because it's awful to see so many people who ought to know better expressing support for something that is, in a moral and ethical basis, completely wrong. Now let's pray for our soldiers for the IDF, hoping that the way ahead can be forged based on the incredibly hard sacrificial work they've already done, and supporting them as whatever they're forced to do in days ahead in carrying out as they have moral and ethical guides receiving from the heads of the IDF. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, אמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה, וישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם. ויקוים בהם הכתוב, וכיתתו חרבותיהם לעתים, וחניתותיהם למזמרות, לא יישאו גוי אל גוי חרב, ולא ימדון עוד מלחמה, וישבו איש תחת גפנו ותחת תאנתו, ואין מחריד ונאמר Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who defend our people. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury, and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree with none to make them afraid. And together we say, Amen. Please join me in this prayer for those in need of strength and healing, both those in our circle of family and friends, those near and those far, including all those who are ill or injured, and particularly those isolated forcibly by terrorist criminal captors. May the world wake up and demand their release. For all those names given to me and given to Temple, on those names placed in the chat, we turn to these words of refuah. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו לחלמם ולרפאותם. וישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה ועטרת שלום, ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and let us say together, Amen. Well, it's meaningful to be here together to connect and to reflect, and now we take time as well to remember, recalling those who died in the recent days and weeks, those who died at this season, and those who we've taken into our hearts with our own. During the period of Shloshim, we remember and support the families of David Silverman, Roxanne Reisman, Sheila Arbisman, Howard Kadekel, Myrna Zeidenberg, Larry Bernick. And it is our sad duty to report the death of our member, Sharon Rosen, wife of Louis Rosen, and our condolences to the whole family. The funeral will take place Sunday at 2 p.m. from Benjamin's. Additional information on their website. We also remember all victims of terror and war, including terror victims at Kiva von Königswald, Tamar Edzri, and IDF soldiers whose lives have been lost in 30 days, Yair Yaakov Shushani, Alexander Fedorenko, Avram Tzvika Friedman, Ofer Jung, Eliav Stuker, Nevo Fisher, Yahav Mayan, Eviatar Ben Yehuda, Nadav Cohen, Nachman Rafael Ben Ami, Aviel Weissman, Daniela Diakov, Guy Carmiel, Liam Hazi, Oron Shaul, Yachav Hadar, Yoav Pfeffer. And on your site on this day, on the anniversary of their deaths, on this 10th of Shvat, excuse me, I'm not sure that this is the right list for us for today. It seems to be, it's the list that I have, but it says for tomorrow. But we remember Adolfo Curtis, Gladys Dunn, Jack N. Fine, Annette Gilbert, Benjamin Goodman, Walter Halpern, Esther Litz, Pearl Robbins, Mo Schulman, Harry Siegel, Yetta Ruth Schatz, Fanny Steinberg, Marion Zimmerman, Abraham Zahn. And for all those, if there are other names that you have to be remembered, I think I have been given the wrong list. Please do add them to the chat. Or I think actually I may have just opened the wrong list as I check again. And so I'm going to check one more time. Yes, I'm going to add to those names today's list for the 9th of Shvat: Sean Allen, Florence Fuss, Ben Joseph, Ben Otis, Henrietta Weiner. Zichronam Livracha, May their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope, the words of the Kaddish Yatom. יתגדל ויתקדש שמה רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב עמו, אמן. יהא שמה רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה ועמו, אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו, אמן. עושה שלום במומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all. Together we say, amen. Please join us for this very special Shabbat tomorrow at 10 a.m. and for our klezmer service and klezmer concert after. Boker Tov, Shabbat